I was able to pay off over $80,000 worth of student loan debt in 8 years, and how you guys can possibly do so as well. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nadisha. On my channel, I focus on personal and professional growth and development and nurse entrepreneurship. If that's something that you're interested in, definitely stay tuned. Nurses are losing their jobs right now. People are being furloughed, contracts are being canceled, and people are stressed because we don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. And unfortunately, student loan debt is not one that we can file for bankruptcy for, and it's not one that ever goes away regardless of our circumstances. So a little background information about me. I started nursing school at City College, and that's where I did most of my prerequisites. I always knew that I wanted to go into nursing. So I didn't start nursing school, but I started college by going to a city college in New York with the intent of going into the nursing program there because it was less expensive and it was close to home. But child, it was so competitive. It was just hard to get classes and just trying to get into the program. There was a whole bunch of exams and tests that we had to take after being there for about 3 years and still not being in the program. I was overwhelmed. I was discouraged and on the verge of really quitting school. Thank God for the influences and the support that I had that really motivated me and encouraged me to keep going. And my friends also, because I saw my friends were in school and they were doing their thing, and I'm like, I can't drop out. So I eventually transferred to a private college, which the cost is very different from coming from a city college, and I wasn't able to afford that. So over 3 years, I accumulated over $80,000 worth of student loan debt. I was just taking out the loans. I was like, Lord Jesus, Lord, it's gonna be me and you, and we'll figure out a way thereafter. But for now, I gotta do what I gotta do in order to get where I wanna go. You feel me? I graduated from nursing school. I got my first job in the ICU as a nurse, and I was on top of the world. I was making good money. I was still living at home. Life was good. I was buying expensive bags. I was going on trips. I got a new car.
And then reality hit me.
Those student loans started coming in. I was just like, wow. And I believe a representative called me and he told me I could pay the minimum payment, and I believe the minimum payment was about $350 per month. I was like, that's the minimum payment? And I realized if I committed to that, I would only be paying the interest. That wouldn't even be touching the bulk of the loan itself. So I said, I'm going to double up on the payment. I'm going to pay $700 instead of paying the $350 again, because I lived at home and my expenses was minimal at the time. But after doing this, it was just still overwhelming knowing that I was responsible for over $80,000 worth of debt. Thankfully, I learned about a tuition repayment program from someone. And I tell you, that was the best insight I ever got in my whole life, because I literally, once I learned about that, I stalked that website. I read up on the credentials in order to be eligible. And I found out that I was, in fact, eligible for that program. So I waited and waited. I marked the day on my calendar for when open enrollment would be. And as soon as I was able to enroll, I was on it like gravy on rice, because this is free money. You don't have to pay it back. There is no limit on how much your student loan has to be in order for them to pay it. You just have to be eligible, and that's it. So this program is the Nurse Corps Loan Repayment Program. The name has since changed since I got it, but the qualifications and the credentials are still the same. So they pay 60% of your student loans, regardless of the amount, over the span of 2 years. And after the second year, if you're still eligible, you can reapply. And if you get into the program again, they pay an additional 25% for the balance of your student loans. So that's a total of 85% of whatever. So your loans could be 130,000, it could be 100,000, it could be 30,000, it could be 10,000, whatever the amount is. If you get in, they pay that percentage. The one requirement that I do know that really stands out is you must work for a critical shortage facility as a registered nurse in order to qualify. They do have a program I did see. I'm not sure that this was in place at the time that I was in nursing school because I would have been on it if I knew about it, that is. They do have a program for nursing students as well. And I see with this program, they pay your tuition, they pay for books, they give you a stipend for housing, and I'm not sure if they pay for your meals, but I'm definitely going to include the link below for this website. You guys go and check it out because, as I said, you don't have to write an essay. Your background doesn't matter. All you need to do is either be a nursing student or be a registered nurse. There's also different programs for people who want to go back for their master's as well. So if that's something you're considering and you don't know how you're going to fund that, you don't want to pay for that because you may have existing student loans already from your undergraduate degree, definitely check it out and see if it may be of resource to you. And I hope it is, because who doesn't like free money? And it's a whole lot of free money, so why not, right? I was granted $1,300 per month for my student loans. That money came to me and I allocated it to my student loans however I wanted. It's not like I had to pay off the most expensive loan or the loan with the highest interest rate. That's specific to you as long as you're allocating that money to what you're supposed to be putting it towards, because they send it to you. So please be responsible, because at the end of the year, you do have to pay taxes on this money. So over the span of 3 years, they paid over $45,000 for my debt, which was more than half of the amount of my initial student loan. That was a huge helping factor for me, because you know that, as I said, that's free money, and all I had to do was work for a critical shortage facility in the span of the time that they were giving me the money, which was 3 years in total. I'm not sure if you were supposed to leave and go to another facility. I don't remember the details of that. I think you would have to reapply to see if your facility you want to transfer to is considered a critical shortage facility, and you may have to reapply for the program. But why risk it? Just stay the 2 years. If you don't want to do the third year, stay the 2 years, stick it out, get the 60% that they pay off, and then move on thereafter. They paid off over $45,000 of my student loans, and after that, I just really wanted to get rid of this debt. I'm just like, you know what, at this point, I'm gonna do what I need to do to tackle this debt. So whenever I got a lump sum of money, I would work overtime, and my overtime was allocated to my student loans. If I got my tax returns, a huge portion, a huge portion of my tax return went towards my student loans. I was just pumping money into this, bad boy to get rid of it. It was just like an itch in my back that I wanted to scratch it. I really couldn't get to it because it's just a huge burden that just weighs on a person. But everyone handles debt differently. I don't like debt. I honestly do not like debt, and I try to stay away from it. So I poured as much money as I possibly could into this student loan. One day my husband said, you know what? Why don't you just pay it off? My husband's a huge finance person. He's like, the amount of interest that this loan is accruing, just pay it off. And I was just like, no. It's so much money to pay off. That's a huge amount of my savings that's gonna go to Sally Mae. And then one day, my friend said the same thing. We were having a conversation, and she's just like, I had a friend, she just took her savings and she just paid off her student loan. She's like, I just closed my eyes and I just paid it off. And it's so refreshing not having that debt lingering over her head. And another girlfriend said, why don't you just pay it off? And I was like, you know what? My husband told me this. Now you're saying it. Maybe I really should. I took a lump sum of my savings and put it towards the balance of the student loans, which was about maybe $15,000. And I just closed my eyes, held my breath, and I just paid it off fully, and I'm done with it. And this was about 3 years ago. And now I'm here, student loan free, but I just really wanted to share with you guys about that program, because I know a lot of people don't know about it. I know I tell a lot of my friends about that program, and they're like, oh my God, they didn't know. They wish they found out about it sooner, or they may not know if their hospital qualifies for that particular program, because as I said, your facility has to be considered a critical shortage facility. I've known people who have left their current job as a result and gone to a facility that would qualify, because they just wanted to get that money. And if you're a nursing student, just go and check out the program for nursing students as well, just to see if you could qualify for all the resources that are available to you. Thank you for watching. My name is Nadisha, aka Natural Nurse, and I'm here to help someone, just to share some valuable resources, valuable information that may be of some kind of benefit to someone out there. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comments below if you guys knew about this program or not, or if there are other programs out there that we may not necessarily know about. If it's free money, why not? Definitely share that information below. Let somebody be in the know. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys taking the time out to do so. Like, give a thumbs up.